Trust me. It's just the beginning.
So I just came from watching The Penguin. The Penguin is an 8-episode TV show on HBO. It stars Colin Farrell as Oswald Oz, aka The Penguin, and Christine Milioti as Sophia Falcone. There are other actors, but those are like the two primary characters. And this is going to be a non-spoiler review of this show. I'm not going to go into any details. I'm just going to tell you what I thought of the show in general, because if you have not watched this show, you need to go watch it. You should put it on your bucket list as one of the shows to go watch before the year ends. I watched episode 1 when it was released. I thought it was very good, but then I know typically that shows can become worse as they progress, so I just said, let me wait until the whole thing finishes and then I'll binge the whole thing. And my God, what a great binge it was. I think this is the first time I've watched a show that I intended to review, but I'm not watching it for the purposes of review. I intended to review it, but I was watching it because I'm having fun with it. I'm having a great time. I don't want it to end. So sometimes when I'm watching a show, I just want it to end so that I can give you my thoughts, but this one I didn't want it to end. It's very good. I didn't even think it would be my kind of show. These types of shows about mobs and mafia and crime syndicates and stuff like that, they've never been my cup of tea. I always find them a bit too complicated because of the whole underground type, drug dealer type world. But this one is a pretty easy story to follow. These two crime families, the Maronis, I'm assuming that's how you say their name, the Maronis and the Falcones, and you just watch as the Penguin weaves in between the two of them as he tries to climb up in the world. Episode 2 is where I knew this show is going to be fire. Remember, I watched the first episode on the first day of release, and then I waited until the whole thing ended. So when I jumped into episode 2, I was thinking to myself, oh man, I'm not gonna like this. I watched episode 1 a long time ago, so I'm not gonna remember much, and episode 2 it's probably going to be super slow. I was very wrong. I was immediately hooked by episode 2. Episode 4 is a super well acted episode because it focuses more on Sophia Falcone's character. Christine Milioti is very good. I know a lot of people are going to say that Colin Farrell wearing all the prosthetics and becoming the Penguin was the highlight, but damn, Sophia Falcone, Christine Milioti is very good in this show. There's also the character of Victor Aguilar, played by Renzi Felix. Wow. All the characters in this show are pretty good. That's the thing about this show. The character writing is very good. I cared about everyone. Even those gangsters that are kind of shown from time to time. So well written. Such great personality. Such great acting and dialogue in this show. I was absolutely blown away. The screenplay is so easy to follow. Typically, sometimes because of the editing of some shows are pretty hard to follow and you have to take so much time to try and figure out everything. No, the screenplay is pretty easy to follow. And there is really good tension in this show. There was a time I was literally watching the show like my screen and my eyes are like this because I'm so engaged because of how tense everything and how like on edge I am. Oh my goodness, this show. The only issue with this show is that I wish it was longer. That's the only issue I have with this show. The fact that it's 8 episodes is just painful. It should have been like 10. Wow. What is the point of the Penguin? Someone might be asking, what makes the Penguin so good? Apart from all the things that I just said, what makes it so good? Is that the fact that it makes you like unlikable characters, and it's very good at humanizing villains. So typically villains are painted like this mustache twirling evil human beings, right? But the Penguin, the show knows how to take guys that you obviously view as the villain, and they give you like a sort of backstage to their lives, and you sort of get to see them as they interact with other characters. Like for example, you get to see the Penguin interacting with his mom and you get to empathize with him, but the show always reminds you that this is a scumbag. This guy is a terrible human being. Even if you kind of feel pity for him and empathize with him, he is a terrible human being. And the show does not make you forget. Does not make you forget that the ending. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending. For those of you who watched the show, the ending. Oh, there's something that happens in the ending. I was so shocked. And then it's not easy to shock me because I'm always like pretty good in like predicting story, especially if I'm super invested in the characters. But the ending, wow. I think the only thing that I would complain about this show, apart from its length of 8 episodes, is that sometimes some conveniences happen. Sometimes characters are supposed to do something, then it doesn't happen, but I'm assuming it's so that the plot can keep progressing. These are just like minor nitpicks here and there. Like, for example, in episode 2, this isn't a spoiler. In episode 2, there's this one guy who is going to put the penguin in trouble. So the penguin kind of like sneaks into the room to get to him. And I was watching the episode and I was like, it's super convenient that nobody walked in while you were there with him, you know. There are so many conveniences that happen in certain places so the plot can keep happening, but they are minute, so I won't complain much about them. Out of 10, this show gets a 9.5 out of 10. A 9.5 out of 10. It is a very good show. It's a must watch before 2024 ends. If you ever cared about my opinion when it comes to TV shows, I highly advise you that you watch this one. If I enjoyed this one and it was not even meant to be my cup of tea, then I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I really do. If you've enjoyed this review, make sure to smash like and subscribe. If you watched The Penguin, make sure to comment below and tell me what you thought of it. Wow. Absolutely phenomenal.